We're going live. I'm live. No. Hey, what's up, everybody? See who we got here today. What's up, James East, Tennessee? John. I don't even want to pronounce that. Thanks for stopping by. What's up? See you scrapping. I gotta. Shoot. Hold on, 1 second. I gotta put a post. Sometimes people don't get the notifications, so I need to make a community post. Whoops. Hold on 1 second. How's everybody doing out there tonight? This beautiful Saturday night. Also, I'll try to mention this a couple times when a couple more people get in here. If anyone wants to get on a live stream with me, you got to let me know. I can host like 10 people on here, I think. Wow. Picking up quick. Who we got here? Twompy Boys. RT Jones. What's up, buddy? Kenneth. Mike Owens. Rick Stewart. Albert. Damien. Henry. Ronnie. Mike. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? All right, let's see what we got here. So we had some interesting, a lot of stuff happened today. It was a busy day. My wife woke me up at 6:30 in the morning, and it was nonstop since then. What was your reason for not having ready mix delivered? Cost, ease of pouring, small. So I have a bunch of small areas I'm doing, and I can't do it all at once because the way I need to move stuff around. So it's just going to work out better for me, and when I can pour, and I could just do it when I want. So we're going to be starting Wednesday. Actually, we're going to start pouring concrete on a shed pad first, and then we got enough concrete to do the whole entire carport. So it's going to be a busy couple weeks here. And it was busy, man. We had 2 deliveries from Home Depot, and then we had our cattle showed up today, which was, oh my god, that was interesting. Let's see what else we got here. What's up, John from Minneapolis, Minnesota? See you scrapping. Hope everything's well up there. You guys are going to start getting into your winter months. I don't miss that. I feel bad for you guys. I'm still running around, and I'm sure you guys are too. But while y'all bundling up, I'll be running around in shorts and t-shirt. I think there's like 1 week out of the year where I put pants on, and maybe one day a year I might put a long sleeve tee on. Although being up where we're at now, that might change. The weather's definitely different here. Guatemalan boy. He's in college, man. He's working full time, and he's going back to college, man. Sad thing about him is his parents are going to be leaving. They had a 5-year work visa, and they got to leave, and they can't come back for like 10 years or something like that. But they're scared because ICE is all through the neighborhood, locking up all their cousins. And Yeah. I mean, yeah, but they did lock up someone that had like another work visa, and they're afraid they're going to come for him. Checking in from Northeast Iowa. Hope you're doing good, man. Yeah, thanks, dude. Um, Henry, hi Derek. How are you doing tonight? Now, then, bud. Things are going great, man. Had a had a great day, man. We had our my wife bought this cattle. They delivered it today, and so we had a. I guess he's a steer, but I'm just gonna call him a bull because he's a big, intimidating, big animal. He dwarfs these other cows, man. I didn't realize like how small like some cows are. Like the cows we got and the cows we were looking at, the guy was showing us like show cows, cows that like people take to show them and win awards, like champion cows. They're not that big. I was actually surprised. And the cows we got are not that big, but they are. Hey, how old are them cows? They're a year or two.
The cow is 3 or 4. The heifer and the bull are 9 months, and the steer is, I think they're all around the same age.
Yeah, so we got three of them that are basically babies, and then we got one that's already had a baby, a cow that's that's going to be our milking cow. My wife makes homemade cheese. Like right now, we go get milk from a local farm around the corner that has like non-pasteurized raw milk. Um, and she makes cheese and yogurt and makes me ice cream, homemade ice cream and stuff like that. So we're gonna, but that milk is expensive. Like no joke, that milk is expensive. That the milk, the eggs, and the meat that we get, it's expensive. So we figured we got the land, we might as well just grow our own. 90 degrees here today, John. Where's that at? um, it's definitely out at your place. Kindly jealous, but extremely happy for you. Thanks, Mike. Did Guatemalan boy and Steve start a band? On Steve looks like uh, David Bowie on a 3-week bender, though. I got to call him. He said he was moving his girlfriend to the West Coast somewhere. Where were they going? I don't know if he was going over to like Clearwater or Naples or something like that. But there. How do you think Murmur will do with the new cattle? Okay, so that was I was very worried about that. Um. Oh. Um. That's my mom calling. Hold on a second. Let me answer that just in case it's something important. Hello? Yeah. Oh no, Michelle was sending you a message saying I'm live. I'm on the internet. Yeah. All right, bye. Thought I called her. So the guy came back in the pasture. At first, we cut Rusty off into the front pasture, our horse, because he's kind of like we didn't know, and then we gave him plenty of treats. He loves his treats. We let the cattle out. They started going, and then they went to the back of the pasture, and then Murmur came out and seen them, and then all of a sudden, for about man, it was probably a good 30 or 40 minutes. He was chasing them around and running them. I don't know if he was just trying to get close to them and he was intimidating them, or he was aggravated. I don't know, but he was chasing him around, and I drove my truck back because he was running them through the woods. Like they was charging through the woods, and I drove my truck back there to try to I don't know, maybe get in between them. And I seen what he was doing. He kept running up on the I don't know, we call her a heifer or a cow. So one of them, a heifer and a cow are the same, but one of them's already dropped the baby. I keep forgetting the term. I'll get it. The cow has already dropped the baby? Yeah? Okay. So he kept running up on the cow. Now, we had already known that the cow might have been pregnant. And so the guy that sold us the cattle told my wife that if that steer keeps pushing up on her, like running up on her, she might be pregnant. He was on them for about a good 35, 40 minutes. I had to go back there and I didn't know if he was agitated. That was my thing, because he's been here for 20 years, pretty much had run of this place by himself, him and Rusty. Rusty, he didn't care. He just kind of stayed in the front. When we let him out, he just went back to grazing. He just wanted his food. We gave him plenty of snacks. And then Murmur was pushing these cows all over the place. And they were back by his. I thought he was going to get really mad when they went over by his area. But I went back over there, and you'll see on a video. And I gave him a bunch of apples. I just started feeding them, calming them down with some apples. and then I went to go do something else, and I come back, and they're all laying up over here. And the first hour was a little hectic, but after that, they're fine. They I think the cows are over here closer to the house. Now Murmur, he likes to he stays on the furthest part of the property, back away from, like, as far away from the house as you can get, way back in the woods. And that's where he sleeps at night. The cows seem to be up over here, at least the last time I checked. But yeah, they seem to be doing good, man. They grazed. I fixed their water because we're gonna have to start keeping them separated. We're gonna have to build a bullpen. But it was fun, man. And then at the same time, they're here. Like, I'm getting deliveries. My friend showed up to help me. Henry, good, and you now then, bud. Yeah, things are good, man. Gary Henderson, hello. How are you tonight? Doing great. I hope you're doing great. What's up, John Daly? I found the knife he gave me. I actually used it today to cut some stuff open, cut a tarp open and whatnot, some boxes. AK Productions, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by the chat. Glad for you. You need smooth, hard concrete to be able to get the forklift going to expand your capabilities. Yeah, we're going to finish it out nice, smooth. Man, over there, just walking on them rocks hurts my feet because it's just not even. It's like, it's crazy. And there is concrete down there, but like, I don't even know why they would have done it like that, but it's like, it's wavy, and it's like they just threw bags down. I don't know what they did, but underneath there is some crazy stuff. Hey, what's up, Silverlicious, man? Welcome to Saturday Night Live at the shop. Yeah. It's been rough the past couple of days. I've been just going and going and going. Still haven't got my Wi-Fi extender up. I'm hoping next week I can get that up because I want to start. I'm in the process of cleaning out the garage, actually. And you'll see that coming up, setting up some shelves and sorting the stuff. So actually I couldn't walk in. I couldn't get 3 feet into the garage. It was packed so much. Hey man, watch you since you were making copper donuts in your backyard and watched all the progress moving to the shop and all the improvements. Can't wait to see the progress and changes with the house. Thanks, man. Long time viewer. I appreciate that. Mono, I don't even know what that is. Something 101. Sorry if I butchered your stuff, but I appreciate you watching, man. Um, let's see. Minneapolis, young beef sounds like veal cattle to me. Veal cutlets. No, I'm not into butchering little baby cows. But we do. So we have a cow, a heifer and a cow, which we're keeping. We're gonna be breeding them. We got a bull, which we're gonna breed to them heifers, and we got he's a bull now, but his nuts are about to fall off because the dude wrapped his nuts, which is kind of crazy before they sent him over here. So his balls are at some point going to drop off in the field, I guess, at some point. But we're raising him. Basically, his name is Dinner. Okay. And he's going to grace my barbecue one day. So, and then eventually, hopefully, we get some babies. And my wife has already said that she's looking at the cows. Like, it's not enough. I want more cows. It's like, okay. ASH Construction and Excavation. Hey, do you buy electric motors by the pound? For instance, got some local that seller wants a fortune for. The local scrapyard pays 25 cents a pound. How much would you offer? So electric motors are funny because, unless it's a bigger industrial one, you run the risk of the coils being aluminum. Not all of them, but some of them. And I've even come across some of that are 50-50. They're mixed aluminum, copper. But the problem with them is the rotors are normally aluminum, and you don't gain nothing from that. But on the electric motors, I want to say I would pay like 30 cents a pound, something like that. I think I'm getting a little bit around that price or more. I haven't gotten pricing today, so I don't know. All I know is copper's up. So, you said you got, for instance, got some local seller that wants a fortune for. Huh. Yeah. When it comes to like stuff like that, I'm actually looking for generator stators. Like that's what I'm really focusing on. I'll buy electric motors and process them, but the recovery is just not as much as a generator stator because the rotors are normally aluminum. This is like an older one or something like that. But I mean, I could pay a little bit more than 25 cents a pound for them. Let's see. FMB Salt Life. Love your videos. What do you do with the oil that you drain from the compressors? I want to recycle it, but where do they process gasoline? Or where do they? I've been mixing it in. I've been burning in my truck as fuel. I've been mixing it in my vat. So all them compressors I did, I mean, we might have had 8 or 9 gallons of that stuff. I dumped it right in a 200-gallon vat and blended it with diesel fuel, and it just it burnt in my truck. That's what I did with it. I turned it into biofuel. I turned it into energy, and I saved a little bit of it. I got a bottle of it that I used for like cutting oil, lube and stuff like that. This stuff works pretty good. Corey Dean, hey Eric, how are you? How are you been doing? Been doing great, thank you. Got to show the new ones who's boss. Steve should ride Murmur. I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. I've never seen that dude move fast at all, right? And yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was last night. Um, I fed him kind of late. It was already pretty much almost dark, and he was already laying down. Like they come over and hang out, right? They know when it's dinner time. Five between 5 and 6, they're by the gate. They're just moseying around, chewing on grass, whatever, grazing. Well, I was busy, and then I go over there to feed them. It's like 7 now, right, or whatever. So I'm yelling for Murmur. He's already laying down all the way by his spot. So I see him starting to come. He moseys on over, and so I feed him and Rusty, and then I'm watching him, and I don't know if it was flies, mosquitoes, or bees. He started like scraping the ground, putting his head down like into the dirt. And then he just jumped up, like leaped forward, and just ran across the field like something you'd see at a rodeo. And I was just, as soon as I seen that, I'm like, wow, man. I was like in that pen, petting that dude. Like, what if he decided to do that crap when I'm standing right next to him? Um, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's something to get used to. Standing like I grew up, kind of working around horses and stuff, so I was kind of used to that. But what the guy told me, the bull guy, he told me because I always know about horses and like walking behind a horse. You always either want to keep your hand on their back or just don't walk around the back of them. I'm always leery about getting behind a horse. But he said a cow, they'll kick you from the side. You be careful about them things, man. So like I stand next to him. I'm just nervous because he's just so big, man. It wouldn't take much for him just to swat you with his head or just move. And he does. I mean, he moves faster than you think. Hey, Mom, you're up in the chat. Hey, what's up, Adam W? Found your box of gloves today and safety glasses you gave me. Appreciate that. We actually used them today, me and my buddy. Can you give any tips on how to get customers to sell you copper at percentage of what it's worth, like you? Anything would help. Well, so I've actually, if you go back to like my early live streams, I go into detail about that. It's really hard because if you got an electrician that's been in business a while, they're established, they've been selling copper somewhere. So they know the game. They probably got a guy they're dealing with. They're going to kind of know the prices, or they're just going to straight up call and see what the prices are. Some of my customers, they'll call around and then they'll call me and say, hey, what are you paying? So that's why I always say, man, you got to come correct with your price. And unfortunately, like if you don't have a good yard that'll give you a better price or work with you, it's going to be an uphill battle, because they're not going to take less than they can get going to the scrap yard. You got to offer them at least what they could get or better. Most of the time, better. They're looking for the better price. I sell to an exporter that don't deal with the general public. And in this area, it's crazy how the prices across the country are so different. Like the local yards pay something, and I'll hear some people like, oh, that's a great price. And then what I get in Miami is usually a way better price than that. And then sometimes I'll hear someone in another state be like, oh, well, I'm getting that at the local yard or even better at the local yard. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy, man. But I mean, typically I'm getting anywhere from like 20 to 30 cents more a pound than the local yards. So that's how I'm able to get people to sell me copper. And you got to come correct with your price, man. That young steer will eat good in a couple years. So I thought, like, yeah, you'd have to raise the cow up to like the size of Murmur or something, Nah, man. You raise them things and you slaughter them like at 24 months, or you don't let them get more than like 2 years. Um, so I think what it is 100 days out from slaughter, you pen them up and you start feeding them feed. I forget what feed we got to get, but you know, you start getting them feed, let them graze, and just let them eat, fatten them up or whatever, let them get big. And yeah, then you send them to slaughter. The guy was it was a very interesting um learning curve. We sat and talked with the dude for probably a few hours, when we initially went to go look at the steers, and he really schooled us on a lot of stuff. But he's into flipping cattle. He even said, he goes, man, send that big bull you got right to the cattle thing. They'll turn them into baloney. So anyway, yeah. So and part of that is the cattle pen we need to make. That's like we need to have a and after seeing this guy's pen, immediately what I realized is his cattle pen is a tool. Like it's not just like a pen where you put an animal. It's a working tool. It's how you separate out the different cattle, steer, whatever, the females, and then you got your squeeze chute, and then you can maneuver the cattle around to where you want them. Separate them, either put them through the squeeze chute and milk them, or run them right through into the back of a truck. It's how you load them. Hey Derek, you need a cowboy hat when you're out rounding up the cattle. Yeah, I want to go get one. I want to get me a nice cowboy hat, a big one, like a big hat like CU Scrapping wears in his thumbnail. Glad you found your gloves, glasses, box in today's video. Yeah, I appreciate that, Adam. I use when I found them, I know where they're at. I use them all the time. Sean Titus, putting up shoving just increase the square footage of your shop. You're going to be able to get a lot of stuff you put up when you get that done. Keep up the hard work. Thanks, man. Good evening. Glad I caught your live stream. Did you consider putting your compressor just inside the door of the garage and run the hose right through the wall outside? Okay, so actually what I did is I took the one compressor, the red one, that I was running mainly at my other shop, which when I got it, the guy that gave it to me had it sitting outside. I actually brought it outside, and I'm going to put it up underneath that little triangle section in between the like on the back side of the tables. I'm going to put it back there for now. And then we're going to see how that goes. But I'm trying to clear space inside the garage so that I can actually do stuff in there and work in there. And then I want to do live streams from there. That's why my wife got me that thing. Not only so I can do lives there, but we can have internet past the barn. She wants to do something past the barn that it requires internet. Let's see. How thick is your steel plate on your bench? I'm in the process of building one. The 4x10 foot steel bench that I have is a 1/2 inch thick plate. It does pretty good. I wouldn't, I mean, depending on what you're doing, if you're going to be beating on it, I wouldn't go less than half-inch thick. How many gallons of fuel did you use hauling everything from the old shop to the new one? I think I went through 2 totes. So somewhere around more than 2 totes. Probably about between 5 and 600 gallons probably. It was a lot. I missed your answer. Could you repeat your answer about recycling oil? Oh, I mixed it in with the black diesel. I burned it in my truck. Adam W. Murmur baloney. Well, apparently that's what they do with the old bulls. It's funny. The guy said, he goes, as long as it walks across the scales, it'll sell. It doesn't matter. Someone will buy it, you know? And he says the old stuff that comes across the scales goes for baloney. Speaking of compressors, if you put it out where you're working, it'll be noisy. Oh, that's all heck. And yeah, you know what, dude? It will ruin the audio. Huh. Plus, it's going to be underneath that little enclosed area, so it's going to be like really echoing. I'm going to have to look into that, see what we can do. But if I can, what's up, Cruiser Mac? Thanks for stopping by, man. If I can, I need to free some space up in there. So there's some things I'm going to take out of there and I'm just going to have to put it on the tarps outside for the time being. But I need to make it usable. I need to be able to get to my machines, the mill, the lathe, the bench. I can't even get to the bench right now. So do I buy copper cables from scrap yards? No, that's tough, man. You're not going to be able to strip that at the cost that they're going to want, because you're going to have to buy it at what they're selling it, and then it's just not going to be profitable unless it's really big stuff. But they know what they got. When you get your Banshee going, let your wife drive it. Yeah, she keeps saying she wants to drive it. Oh, we're getting pigs tomorrow after church? I guess I'm going to have to put a cage in the back of the truck. After you get cement down, will you seal off the ends of your buildings? The carport? No, I think I'm going to leave that open. I actually wish the side was open that faces the pond. I wish that was actually open so I could see over there and it gets a good breeze because of for whatever reason, we always have a nice breeze coming from one side of the property, and it starts from like right there. So there's always a nice breeze coming through there. And it was today was beautiful, man. It was nice and cool today. But I don't want to wall that building off. I actually like, working outside, but I need concrete. That's what we need. What's up, Joseph Valente? Sorry if I butcher your name. I probably butchered every time, dude. But thanks for coming by, stopping by the chat. What else we got in here? Oh, and then my wife, I don't know, I think I mentioned on the video, my wife put an ad in the paper, or not the paper, I'm sorry, the equivalent to the paper, Facebook Marketplace. And I add for local help, so we can see, man, we got so many responses out here. People are hard up for work, man. Um, but we found someone that lives like 5 minutes down the road. Horses will be after the chickens, goats, and sheep. Oh yeah, I gotta call my buddy tomorrow. So my buddy that's gonna come look at the electric over here, he's got goats and sheeps and chickens, and he said we can. He wants to give us like 4 sheep, um, and I think 1 goat. He said he slaughters. He eats the goat meat. I never had goat meat, but John, good night. Gotta go. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. Did I include in the ad? We'll be on YouTube. Nah, but we had the guy come here and meet us. And I told him, I asked him, are you gonna be okay with being on camera? Because that's what we did. It turns out the guy's a scrapper, and he actually knew the scrap yard down there and showed me some of their prices. I wasn't impressed, although the steel price seemed pretty good. But I haven't called. I haven't been to a steel yard in a while. So hey, what's up, Panther Killer? So I think he was saying that he was getting like 10 cents a pound for prepared steel at that place over there in Okeechobee. Like we're so far out, there's nothing. You got to travel so far to a scrap yard. Even the local scrap yards are like, way out there. But that place I showed one time driving, I don't even know what the name of the place is, but it's down there in Okeechobee. I wasn't impressed with their copper prices at all. So, but their steel price looked pretty good, and it looks like they deal with a lot of steel there. I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but they got a pretty big yard. But they I'm not selling my copper there. I'll take it down south, and I got to go down there anyway to pick up for my customers. So might as well. Let's see. Copper prices are up, and so is silver. I hope it keeps going up. I got $4.26 a pound for bright and shiny. I think that's the highest I've ever gotten. Before that was like $4.17. Or I forget what it was, but I think $4.26 was the highest I've ever gotten. That's a pretty good price. Great seeing some scrap videos this week. Yeah, I got more for you, man. When would I start gold recovery? At the price of gold, you may already be rich. I got barrels of those gold finger boards, man. I don't know. I really don't mess with them. I think what I'm going to do is cut one of them totes open and just start filling that up with them, and wait until I get a couple of them. I would like to grind them up or do something with them. What do you think of the Cybertruck? I mean, I probably think it's garbage. Huh. Thanks for the shipping address. The Cybertruck. I'm not a fan of electric vehicles. One, short range. Two, how they mine the cobalt and the lithium for those batteries. And I don't like the fact that they can shut them down. It's like them cars, them Chevy cars or GM cars with the OnStar. They can just shut the car off. Those electric cars, they can just shut them off. They don't want you going somewhere. Put a V8 in a Cybertruck. I'll buy one. The The frames on the Cybertrucks are plastic. I wouldn't be surprised. Weird looking truck. I'd take my F-150 over it any day of the week. Yeah. And what vehicles, like, if you're not using your vehicle for work and you're just driving around, whatever, it's probably, okay. But like work wise and actually getting something done or something that's going to last, like a heavy duty truck, Cybertruck ain't it. What's that guy on YouTube? Whistling Diesel. He hooked something to the hitch, and the hitch just like fell off. And there have been other reports of people that are like towing stuff, and the hitch just fell off. And I don't know. I never really looked into the Cybertruck if it has a plastic frame or not. But if it does, that would account for the hitches falling off for sure. There's no need for plastic vehicles. That wouldn't make me feel safe on the road. Some lime water. I thought we were going to be drinking champagne on this live stream. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Last time I took a sip. What was that? Apple stuff or something? I took a sip of some. I don't drink alcohol, but I took a sip of it. It looks like a refrigerator on steroids. Yeah. Silverlicious used to have a Mustang. Oh, you might be you and Oliver might get along. He's a Mustang driver. He took me for a ride in that thing. This is a he's a V6. I think 300 horse, 6-speed. You have to find your gloves. I found them today. Or no, I found them yesterday. Me and my wife cleaned up the shop. And found my knife, gloves, my respirator, my ear protection. Found a lot of stuff, a lot of tools. Spiders. Man, we found a bunch of spiders, dude. Oh, and then I don't know what happened, man. I found a freaking rat. It was dead, laying down. There's some rat poison sitting in there, and something got in there. So, Oliver's just saw a 12-valve Cummins in his Mustang. It'd be like, what's that guy? He's got the Smokestang. Weston Chaplin. Snakes are better than rats. I don't mind. I mean, I don't want to get bit by a snake. I don't mind them. I had them as a pet as a kid. Actually, when I lived down in Deerfield, man, we had like a 12-foot Burmese python. Found it in the backyard. It was like a baby, this little thing, and the next thing I know, it turned into this giant thing. You have a Ford Transit. What is that? Is it like a van? But I also have a Chevy Corvette and a Toyota Tacoma. I don't incriminate. Yeah, I mean, different vehicles. Like, there's a reason I drive the truck that I have. I have two of them. Is like I mean, I grew up. My parents were like Chevy people, and Dodge. They had Dodge trucks. But I worked for this company. They had a fleet of like 99 to 03 F550s. We had F250s, 350s, 450s, and 550s. And those engines just kept running. I mean, those guys were so brutal on them trucks, man. And it just, they always got us to the job, worked all day. We ran PTOs off of the engine, and then they got us home. And I just like, wow, this is, if I want a truck that's going to last, that's heavy duty, and it's going to do everything I need it to do, I'm just going to get this. And the whole time I worked there, I worked on my own truck, so I knew them inside and out. That's why I got the trucks I have now. Jeremy Mensick. Sorry if I butchered your name. Good evening, bud. Love your videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like snakes to the rats in a nice way. Okay, I'm not sure what you said there. Like I said, I don't mind the snake. I'm sure he's in there like eating the rats or something. I don't know if he's big enough to eat a rat, but that's the second shedding I found, so he must be eating something. I seen an old school Chevy Corvette for 16 grand. I just want an old beat or something, like an old truck. I could just beat around the farm. And when I mean beat, like I want to bounce it off trees type beat, you know? I had a manual Ford Ranger that I put 400,000 miles on years ago. Wow. My other Ford that's sitting out in the field there needs a starter and alternator. That's got 490,000 miles on it. And that thing was hauling scrap right up until the oil cooler sprung a leak. And I started robbing parts off of it, which I should have never done. I robbed the starter and alternator, put on my other truck one night. I commented in a couple of videos about your moving stuff around problem. Have you thought of tow dollies like trucks used to lift and then tow with a four-wheeler or a mower to move it around? Yeah, actually, the lawnmower that my wife got has a tow hitch on it, and it's buried in there among all the stuff. That's why we're putting up shelves in the shop, and so I can sort that stuff. But once I'm, that's not going to be necessary because once I get my concrete poured over the next couple weeks here, we're probably going to do. I don't even think it's going to take a couple weeks because once I pour the first slab, I'm just going to keep going. But I got to get this thing cleaned off. See, I love all kinds Chevys now too. Better than Fords now too. I don't know, maybe. To me, like you can't beat an F Super Duty truck. I don't know. The new ones have incredible amounts of power, but they also have a lot of problems with all this stuff. I don't even get into it. All that DEF stuff and all that. I don't even want to deal with it. I like my old truck that I can burn used oil, burn free fuel, and simple to work on, you know? Yeah, so back to the guy with the dollies, Jeremy. We are going to have a little cart that we can hook to, yeah, like either a four wheeler or the lawnmower or something like that has a hitch, so we can move stuff around. But for the most part, like loading and offloading scrap, once I pour a slab out there, I'm not going to have a problem with none of that stuff. I'll be back to offloading with the forklift. I see a Ford F-150 for sale, and the frame was held together by wrenches. My favorite thing I see every day is the Made in Missouri sticker on the inside door of my Colorado. That's cool. I think more stuff should be made, not just in America. Like and I've said this many, many times. I think every country should make their own stuff. Like people need jobs and need to learn skills, and the fact that stuff is being mass produced in like one place or a few places is just, it's not good for the economy. Like people need this, cities, towns, everybody needs to start being more self-sufficient and not relying on so many outside big corporate sources. Because then you get in problems. Oh, the book I was talking about. I don't know if it was on a live stream or it was in a video. I was talking about something about how a government operates and they don't let big corporations come in with a bunch of machines and put little guys out of work. It was called The Iron Republic. And it's literally a story about a guy right here in Florida. It was published in this Florida magazine. And there's a couple readings of it. The Argyle channel did a reading. It's a 5-hour like ebook where you just put it on YouTube and you can listen to it. It's very interesting, the whole story and what it's about. But what I found most interesting was like how the government of this continent, the Iron Republic, was ran, and what they didn't allow to happen and stuff like that. Are you going to have your metal building built, or are you going to do it yourself? No, the company, I believe they deliver it and install it for free. I just got to pour the slab. So we got to get a permit for that slab. That's a big one. What's more real, aliens or Bigfoot? I'd say Bigfoot, but aliens, I would have to say aliens are not what you think or what anyone would think, and this is just my opinion. There's no fact behind this. There's a way to have an alien or an extraterrestrial, terra firma, territory, extra from outer space, the outer space, and not like what you're thinking about. Just think about this. How many of you people in here have explored the whole world, this realm, or whatever you want to call it? And think about this. Japan, not too long ago, just came out and said that they found something like a couple thousand islands that they didn't know existed. Okay. Is it possible that there could be a whole continent that you don't know exists? So maybe aliens could be from another continent that you don't even know is there. You wouldn't know unless you actually went out there and explored yourself. What you see here on TV and news and what you see on your computer, it's hard to verify any of that stuff. I mean, it's all just a big show. I had 2 Ford F-150s, and I was broke down one time in Hartford and Connecticut, capital city, and was very busy intersection. Some dude yelled out the window, "Get a Chevy." That's funny. I mean, I don't care what your vehicle is. I don't. It's just my preferences. But the thing is, like, I like Ford Super Duties, like F-350 dually 4x4s. I wouldn't buy anything less. Like an F-250 wouldn't do it for me. I wouldn't buy an F-150. I don't like Ford cars. Nothing against them. It's crazy. A buddy of mine here was here today. Is associated with a Ford dealership. And he says that the only car that Ford is manufacturing right now is the Mustang. Like their lineup is like crossover SUV type whatever that, I don't know what that was. I don't even know if they still make it, the Edge and trucks. Like their car is like one car. I don't think they're making that Ford 500 no more. The Crown Vic, um, any of that stuff, or no, the Crown Vic was Chevy. I'm sorry, or was it Crown Vic Chevy or is that Ford? I'm sorry, the Caprice, Chevy Caprice, and the Ford Crown Vic. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Um, let's see. Do you say maggot instead of magnet on purpose? Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I do on purpose, and it just, I don't know. It gets under some people get annoyed by it. I don't know. I just do it. Sometimes it feels like we're living in a simulation. Yeah. Any new big generator or electric motor breakdown soon? Terran, the giant one with the huge rotor, was one of my favorite videos of yours. Oh, that big old 5,000 pound one. Ah, I got to get to the scrapyard because he had a couple down there. They weren't that big. They weren't that big. Um, but yeah, I gotta talk to my generator guy, my buddy that is coming over here to do electric. He works for a big generator company. So we're gonna be in talks and hopefully start getting some in here. So they'll come. Stuff comes in waves, man. Like right now it's kind of slow. And then all of a sudden I'll just get slammed, you know? But it is what it is. It's okay. I got, you know, so much stuff to do. So um you would kill that kind of truck now, bud. um Ford started making Rangers and Broncos again this year. Yeah, that's like a SUV or a truck, but cars, are they still making a Ford Taurus? I don't know. The Mustang is a classic. Yeah, I should get my wife an old school Mustang when you turn 40 years old. Is she okay? The dog's doing that like reverse sneeze type thing. The Broncos are super cool. Yeah, but one of my customers has one of the new Broncos, and it's pretty cool. Like they're designed. There's all kinds of things in those new Broncos for off road. Like there's like drains in the floor. Everything's like water. Supposedly waterproof. Um, there is no T in a cross. I drive my wife crazy sometimes with things. uh, oh yeah, my wife has a Ford F-350, the 70 or what is it, 89? We need a motor and trans for it. What I'd like to do is find a 2000 to 2003 motor and trans and drivetrain to drop in there. Oh, that's my field snacks. That's stuff I had in my pocket. Let's see. Staples for the fence and field snacks. Peanut butter filled pretzels. I was out there repairing the fence today. Yeah, I needed my ration in case I felt hungry out there in the field. I might have had to run from the bull. He ate all the apples, man. I had nothing else to eat. Um, the small Bronco Sports are made in Mexico and they are falling apart and being recalled already. Dag. Well, that's what happens when you outsource crap. Adam Wall. Newport, Oregon. What's up, buddy? Ford did drop the Focus 500 and Fusions a few years ago. So just the Mustang left. Yeah. I mean, none of these cars, in my opinion, none of the cars built now, except for like some of the really rare high end, the crazy, the ones with the crazy horsepower and all the ground effects, but it's all plastic crap. And who knows how long that crap's going to last. None of them is going to be like a classic, like an old Chevelle or an SS, whatever, a 442 Oldsmobile, the older Camaros, the Super Bs, or the what do you call them? The ones with the wings, the Road Runners and stuff like that. Those cars were cool, man. None of these new cars are garbage, man, and they're such garbage, and they've run out of ideas. They're literally remaking. They're taking the old body styles and just modernizing them, basically, with plastic. Everything you buy nowadays is plastic. It's like my Mercedes. I love that car, but there's like plastic idler pulleys, which I don't understand that. There's just certain things in there that are just nothing is made to last anymore. None of these cars, when you're done with them, they're going to the junkyard. Nobody wants to rebuild like a 2020 anything. The electronics are going to be crap. Who knows if you're going to be able to get the parts or whatever. The only thing a Ford needs is a Chevy motor. Yeah, I don't know much about Chevy motors, like the old 350s or whatever. That's it. Don't forget the 57 Chevy. Yeah, all those old cars, man. I mean, they were built to last, dude. They were built to hand down, they don't want you handing something down to your kids or keeping the family, you know. They want you to run it for 10 years and get a new one. You know, it's all about consume. And while you're consuming, it's draining the wealth of the world. Now that gas charger challengers are gone, some of the recent SRT Hellcats might make a quasi classic status. Yeah, probably. Those Hellcats and those demons. I mean, those are fast cars, man. I've raced a couple of them, or I partied with them on the highway, and they get up and go, man. Yeah, it's everybody's preference. I mean, whenever you're like, oh, Chevys are junk, oh, Fords are junk, oh, Dodgers are junk. I can agree with the last one, but everybody loves those 12 valve Cummins, but those trucks fall apart, man. They're notorious for the dashboard falling apart. And I can remember years and years ago, my original partner had a Dodge 1500 something or other. And I remember his dash was just like non-existent. I'm like, what the heck happened here? Like the truck looks great from the outside, but had no dash in it, you know? And then like everybody that I know that had a Dodge truck, the dash was just trashed, cracked up, big chunks missing, and they rust for whatever reason. I don't know. But hey, everybody has a good truck. 15 to 20 years of cars, I get them to scrap. You scrap cars for a living or whatever, 15 to 20-year-old cars. Yeah. Nobody wants that crap. Stupid YouTube took your live down for taking a gun apart. That was ridiculous. Yeah, it was. Um, and I didn't know this, and I don't know how long this has been. They probably just updated that. Um, you can't even hold a gun in your hand anymore. And on my lives, I would always show what I had around me: shotgun, AR, AK, something like that, pistol. But I would only usually just bring it up and show it, and then put it away, or it would just be in the shot somewhere. But apparently, now I don't know if it could just be in the shot. We might try that. But if you hold it in your hand for whatever reason, I don't think it was the fact. I mean, I might have gotten away with that stream if I just picked it up, held it in my hand, put it down. But I disassembled it on camera live, and I think that's what really got me. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I wasn't like pointing a gun at the camera or nothing like that, or doing dumb stuff like dumb people on the internet like to do. Actually, Teslas are worse than Dodge Rams. Yeah. So I don't know what if y'all know now. Speaking of guns, um, down in Florida, they just came out with a thing that said, or the Florida Supreme Court said, oh, the ban on open carry is unconstitutional. And when I heard that, I just laughed because I was like, you know what? I proved all that was, unconstitutional in court 2 years ago. You have a 2008 Tahoe. The dash is very brittle. The truck has 300,000 miles on it. Wow. Tahoe. Tahoe is a GMC or a Chevy Tahoe? It's a Chevy. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I got a crack in the dash of mine. It's just a straight split, but for the most part, my dash is pretty good in my Ford. Anyone wanting a Tesla, ask around on what happens when you get in a car wreck. I don't know. All I know is I heard reports of firefighters being upset because the Teslas, when you walk up to them or something like that, the door handles like present themselves to you or whatever, or you can't open the doors normally. Like there's no way. They were having problems opening the doors on them. You got a brand new Chevy Corvette on April 7th. Dad, congratulations, dude. I've raced a couple Corvettes. They're fun. South Carolina changed from concealed carry only to open carry being legal for a few years ago. Yeah. So, man, I got to be careful saying stuff over here. I really need to I need to work on my other channel because I'd like to talk to you guys about all that stuff. There's so much that if you don't know the law and how the law actually works and how the Constitution works and how you're not even privy to the Constitution and how there's two of them, like you don't even know that you don't even really have those rights. What they've done is turn your rights into privileges, something they can take from you. But the Constitution, the way it's supposed to be, you got rights that they can't take. And if you know how the law works and you know the law, you would know that no state in the United States can make a law that says you can't carry, you can't have. It doesn't matter how many rounds you have or anything like that. Like, um, May 7th, my neighbor's daughter drove through my fence and smashed it. What a Tesla? Dang. If I ever had to drive a Dodge Ram, I'd rather walk. That's funny. Yeah, and that's another thing about like the electric. And even not so much like the modern, or not modern, but like the last, I'd say 20 years, you drive, you're like anything fuel injected, there's like you're driving by the computer. Your throttle, maybe if you got a throttle body or something like that, might have a cable going to it, but like um most modern cars, there's just an electric wire going to your throttle body. You don't have a cable like an old carburetor. So I always thought that was kind of crazy. And like, what if it malfunctions? Obviously, if it malfunctions, like usually it wouldn't go anywhere. But what if it just decides to go wide open? And what's to stop like a Tesla from going wide open? I don't know if you heard. Um, I don't know if you heard years ago, and this was years ago. I heard about them hacking cars, like hacking a car and like making the brakes activate at speed, or making it, lose control. And with a lot of newer vehicles, they have the some cars self park, and then they have some cars just have like active stuff in your steering. Who knows? Who knows what all that stuff could do, man? One, I think it's just more crap to go wrong, right? It's just a bunch of needless crap. And think about this. Here's another thing I think about all the time. So, we're what, 2025 now? The first car, the gasoline car, was probably, let's just say 1890. It's just rough estimate. They got some early cars from the 1800s. I think even Mercedes Benz might have been one of the first cars or something like that. But they've basically been repackaging 130-year-old technology to us over and over and over again. Whatever happened to flying cars, or you know, like we can't do anything better than a motor vehicle, you know? And these Teslas, like these things are crap, man. If you look into history, they had electric commercial vehicles, the trucks like that delivered stuff around town were electric in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They had electric cars, electric everything. What happened to that technology? Where'd that go? Skip your comment. What comment? Comment about I have a crack in my dash. Let's see here. You had a video a while back where you mentioned keeping an extra drive belt in your truck. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I always keep whenever I change my serpentine belt, um, I'll either put the old one or I'll have a brand new one under the back seat. States make gun laws they know will be stricken down, but it takes years and a lot of money legally to fight it up to the Supreme Court and make it right. Well, if you go in there like I did and threatened to file charges against the prosecutor, the judge, the cop, and every public servant involved in the theft of your property, you'll watch how fast they give your stuff back to them. And when you state Supreme Court case law, and they realize that it's going to be an uphill battle and they're not going to be able to get anything out of you. But that's not even true either, because you know what? If you look at Black's Law Dictionary at what a court is, it's a bank. The judge is a banker. The clerk of the court is a banker. It's all banking terminology. I may have missed it, but what breed of cattle and how many are you getting, Farmer Derek? I'd have to ask my wife. I think we get Florida cattle or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But we get our bull is from a different than our other one. But I think they're all like a Florida grown cattle. I'm in Richmond, London, and driving my granddad's old 1998 W210 Elegance with 80K genuine miles on the clock. What's an Elegance? 99 W210. Is that a Mercedes? I know my car is a W220, but I got like 216,000. I put some miles on that car, dude. I beat the brakes off that thing. Huh. I love driving that car, man. Ain't nothing like 516 foot-pounds of torque supercharged on demand. And that power comes in low RPMs too, man. It's got grunt. The great thing about that car, man, like for me, I like speed and very sporty driving. It really don't open up until above 100. 100 mile an hour, man. From there to like 160 is like incredible. OnStar was getting hacked. A few people died. They would lock up the brakes on the highway. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Anything like, why does that? That's another thing. It's funny. It's like they say, oh, they might take down the what do you call it? The energy grid or whatever. Oh, they might hack it. How are people being able to hack the grid? How is that even possible? Why would they even allow that to be a thing? And then I was watching something, and this is the third time I've heard this. So now that I recycle generators and I understand like how big of a generator you need to like power a house, or how big of a generator you need to power a building, right? I've been in power stations before, right? And I'm looking at these power stations, they're pretty big and all, but to me, something's not adding up. They're not big enough to power a whole city. Okay. And a guy was talking about how they were following the power lines, big, whatever they call them, the big power lines that go on for miles and they're way up in the air. And he says they literally just went in a big circle. And what they were thinking is that they were literally just pulling electric out of the air, to supplement the other things. I'm going to shut my phone off. Too many bells going on. People can't drive. Do we want them to fly though? No, not at all. That's another thing. Like, oh, I mean, I could go into that there. I mean, a lot of people shouldn't be driving. Yes, they can do all that with new cars now. Too many computers controlling the car. Yeah, I would never in a car or a truck at all. I would never own a new car or truck. Okay, a new car. I'm like, wait a minute, how you gonna get around, dude? I love all old Chevy cars and trucks. Yeah, me too. I have a permit to carry a gun in CT, but when I go to Massachusetts to do a job, I need to leave my pistol in CT. Yeah, that's that's bull crap because you're within the United States under the United States Constitution. I mean, it doesn't matter what state you're in. Um, it's just a way to basically take your property and make money off of you and take your life. Basically, we should be able to travel in the whole USA with your gun. I mean, personally, I think you should be able to travel anywhere in the world with your property, no matter what it is. Um, Mainly Holsteins. What is that? Oh yeah, Farmer Derek. When can we expect a straw hat and overall pants? Funny enough, my wife wears overalls. But me, I'm a short and t-shirt farmer. It's gonna be hard to get me in a pair of pants. Um, Bet you're looking to have your car fixed soon. Yeah, I got so many things. It's just one thing. I actually got to get it. Change your own oil, people. You're not just getting ripped off. They don't know what they're doing either. Yeah, man, they'll strip your drain plug, forget to put your drain plug in, forget to put oil in, all kinds of things. I had years ago, I had this lady come door to door with these coupons for like Goodyear. And I had a Cadillac, a 93 Cadillac STS. I love that car. It was a pretty fast car. Um, and I took it to go get the oil changed, and I don't know what they did, but they might have changed the oil, but I know for a fact they didn't change the oil filter because the guy had changed it before. He um he would write the dates on it, and I was up under the car one day, and I remember seeing him. I watched the dude write it because he was a friend of mine. I watched him write it on there, and I go up under the car to do something one time, and I'm looking at the oil filter, and I'm like, same dirty thing. And they were supposed to honor these coupons to give you an oil change and a flush and all this stuff. Man, I don't think they did nothing but put my car in the back on the lift and then bring it back out to me. Wow, that's some really strong lime juice. Operation Fire Sale. Um, oh, we got a new member. Oh, that's one thing I need to do. I need to thank all the members. Everybody that has a membership, man. I really appreciate you guys. Um, it every little bit helps over here, man. I saw a video today where someone went to Jiffy Lube for an oil change and they put double the oil that they should have. Wow. I remember when I was working at Concrete Cutting, we had this guy, we called him Skippy or something. And we call him the contractor because I used to be a contractor. He was like younger than me at the time, and this was I was like in my 20s. But the guy was just, I don't know, worthless. Anyway, he kept telling the mechanic, "Hey man, my oil's low," and the guy's like there with him, and the mechanic's like filling the thing up with oil out of this big drum, and he's filling it and filling it. He goes, "Man, something's wrong, dude." He goes, "I've been put," he goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, and the guy's checking the oil. He keeps putting the dipstick in. He goes, "Nah, man, it's not on." So the guy was like putting the thing in there, but he wasn't putting it in all the way. He was holding it like 6 inches out and then pulling it out and like, "Nah, there's no oil in the stick." And it's like, holy crap, man. Like, you work next to people that are just, it's crazy. Jiffy Lube and all those places are a complete ripoff. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's terrifying that we let some people mess with our cars in the most important way. It sucks, and that's why my car's sitting there because I don't like people touching it. Every time, even like Steve, who's a good mechanic, knows a lot of stuff, he likes to take shortcuts to get things done, right? And like I had him work on my I was doing something, I was real busy, and I had him changing an injector in my truck. And like I knew the process. I've been down that road before. I told him what he needed to do at a certain point. One which was pull this plug out of the head and let the oil drain so it didn't drain into the cylinder. And right before about to put it back together, I'm like, "Hey man, you know, did you oh, I couldn't get it out, so I just didn't do it." I'm like, "Dude, I mean, you could like risk hydrolocking my engine, having all that oil in the cylinder and trying to start it." So I had to suck it out. I mean, there was a lot. And he goes, "Oh man, that could have been bad." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like thank God I checked your work, you know?" And then he bent my dipstick tube because he didn't want to unscrew it. He just bent it out of the way and then bent it back. And then it kinked it. And I'm like, why? Like, so that was the last time I let him work on my truck like by himself, you know? My car, the one and only time I took it to a mechanic, I took it to my neighbor to have an alternator put on. I just didn't have time to do it. I needed an alternator. They broke my oil thing, the thing that you pull the oil out, and then they did something else. And like they clearly must have known they broke it. There's no way you couldn't not know you broke it. But they ain't even saying that. Just give the car back to me. Yeah, it's done. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I can't have people working on my stuff, man. You know, and it sucks because I don't always have time to do everything because I'm literally doing everything. DIY fixed car was smoking and they thought it was a head gasket. It was just too much oil. Huh. W210 is a Benz. Elegant is a 99 luxury upgrade. Oh, okay. A W210, is that an E class? Or is that the S class before the W220? Um, I like the older machine. Like like I'm all about like American, but like since like a kid when I grew up, I worked at the restoration shop restoring like Jaguars and older classic, mainly foreign cars, British cars, sports cars, British, foreign sports cars. And they just handled, and they weren't just fast in a straight line. They can take corners. And then they were actually built for the speed, They were built to handle those speeds. And I just liked foreign cars. Now, I did have a nice Cadillac, but then I got what I get first? I had a Lexus LS 400. I love that car, man. 300,000 miles. I put on that thing, no problem. Then I had a Jaguar XJ6, and then I bought my Mercedes, and none of those cars compare to that Mercedes. But when in 04, that's an 04 W220 S-Class, but it's the S55 true AMG car with a hand-built supercharged motor, upgraded suspension, tuned trans, for 500 horse, and fast. But it's got upgraded brakes, 8-piston. The front brakes on that car are as big as my F350 dually. They're just giant dinner plates, and 8-piston calipers, massive brakes. And the car was made to handle high speeds. It's a Autobahn slayer, man. I think it's made for the Autobahn. I like to drive fast, but I like to be safe when I do it. I like to, you can buy a crap box and soup it up and make it go fast, but is it going to handle? Is it going to stop? If you got to jerk the wheel to maneuver, is it going to handle that? Or are you just going to send yourself into the wall or wreck? Or if you do wreck, are you going to be safe? That's why I like a big car like that. It's an S-Class, big 4-door sedan. Plenty of room for me to bang around in there. Oh, someone needs an oil change. Really? Looks like some free fuel. Told my daughter the other day that in grade school and high school, all the jerks and dummies and ignorant kids that you went to school with, they all drive now. Hey, what's up, Frank? Just woke up and saw that you were live tonight. I'll be listening, but I won't be participating in loads of pain tonight. I hope you're all well. Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. I still need to call you, dude. I've been working nonstop, man. When I'm done, I crash. I hope you're feeling better though, man. I'm in pain every day. You got back problems or something? Lots of projects. Just have to be patient. Just get out the whip. Oh, you're going to Jiffy Lube, are you? Your uncle had his oil changed. They drained his trans fluid and overfilled the motor by 5 quarts. Dag. Holy crap. Never been in one of those places. So they changed the oil. $70 for an oil change. Dude, it costs $70 just for my oil in my truck when I do an oil change. We gonna see Steve at the new place? I don't know. If he wants to come out here. I mean, he helped me I think he was out here 2 times, but he didn't. He was supposed to actually help me move and just didn't. He helped me at my shop a little bit, but I don't think he wanted to come out here. Oliver came out here one time, And he was like, man, it's kind of far. And I was like, yeah, I understand. You know, they just don't want to drive that far. It's half a day, you know? So unfortunately, I don't know if, I mean, I'll be back down in Palm Beach, so I'll probably run into them, but whether they come out here, I don't know. I can't say for sure. Um, Florida has some kind of program to protect tortoise habitat. You might want to check into getting paid for some of your property. Yeah, there's some funny things about that. I found on the property next to me because I watched the dude run across my yard from my pond, and then down into a hole on the other side of the fence. There's a tortoise over there. But yeah, they're funny about them tortoise, man. Um, Sub Joseph Gennar. Sorry if I messed up your name, man. um, Merchant Metals dropped a new video tonight. He had a nice score on light fixtures with double copper transformers. I think you would enjoy watching it. Yeah, I mean, in other places, the down in Florida, maybe not where I'm at now, but down in South Florida where I was. Well, actually, no, pretty much all of Florida because I used to travel all over to get them. Um, even before I started YouTube, I had already been a couple years into changing out the light fixture, the whole parking lot, um, in light fixtures. So it's hard for me to get light fixtures now because all of my customers that did light and maintenance, and it's got to be, I mean, we're going years now. It's got to been the past, I got to say 8 years. All their customers that they used to maintain, the HIDs, they changed them all over to LEDs. And now they're on their second and some even third generation LED. Like they're going back and taking those first gens that they put up 8 years ago, or they've already taken them down. But I mean, I was doing that stuff a few years even before I started YouTube and showing you guys the Transformers. You know, if you go back and watch my first videos, what do you see me doing? Parking lot loads, trailer loads of lights, you know? I mean, I did hundreds and hundreds of parking lots, lots of Publix, so many Publixes, man. And Publixes, it's such a shame because they had some of the best lights, heavy duty cast, not the cheap chintzy sheet metal, heavy cast with 1,000-watt transformers. Yeah, I do miss it, but you know, we we changed them all out already down here. You know, there's a lot of money in Florida, so they're kind of ahead of the time with stuff like that. It's like the big cities; they've been changing them out for years. So it's hard to come by them. Do I like Uncle Ted Nugent? Oh, there's a funny clip of Ted Nugent, and he's getting interviewed, and the guy goes, "So, what do you think about, all the people that got the what do you call it, the thing, the shot, I guess you could call it?" And then he goes, "Oh, uh, I'll speak to them. I I speak their language. I'll speak to them right now." And he just goes, "Bah, bah," and starts. Oh my God. You got to find that clip. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was like, man, this guy's awesome. But he's on there too, man. He's on there telling you. I seen a clip of him just the other day talking about, man, you gotta get your own food, and um, you gotta stop letting this big corporate stuff go on, man. We're not going forward. We're not. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, we got fancy dancy little devices that distract you from the real world, but we're not going forward. We're not we're not getting healthier. We're not getting better. We're not getting in a better place where we're working less. Like, this isn't it. This isn't what we should be doing. I mean, I've been saying it for years, man. We I don't think we should be, just think about what you do. As soon as you're a kid, you're pretty much forced to go to school, get indoctrinated. So it's taking up a bunch of your time doing that. And then boom, you're forced, like, as a teenager, into the workforce. I mean, I don't know about these kids now, but you know, you're forced into the workforce for, you know, what, 40, 50 years or something. And then when you're old and tired and worn out, you get to retire and enjoy what's left of your worn out life. That ain't it, man. So we're doing something wrong. Look at these animals. Like, okay, why are we paying to live? Like, we're born here. Why are we paying to live here? That doesn't, something about what's going on in the world now doesn't sit right with me. It just it's not, it ain't it, man. Um just think about animals. They're born, they don't pay nothing. They forage, they eat, they hunt, they kill. They're not, you know, yeah, they don't have cell phones and air conditioning, but they're not they're not working a meaningless job or doing, I don't know. I mean, that's another discussion for another channel. Let's see where we're at. Um, you think you can do one? You think you can do this for the long term, or are you gonna go look for a different job? Um, Man, I ain't trying to work for nobody. Um, I couldn't even imagine trying to go find a job because, I mean, it's up and down right now, but if, when I'm on some good scrap, like, there's no way someone's going to pay me $2,000 a day, you know? I mean, unless I get some ridiculous job. But where are you going to go? Where are you going to make that kind of money? Where are you going to go? I mean, it doesn't happen every day, but I mean, if I have a couple bad days and then all of a sudden I get on some good stuff and I make $1,000 a day here, $2,000 a day here, I'll take that over going to work for someone. But like, I try. Like, I'm trying to do a couple different things that bring income in from multiple sources. Not just the scrapping. Hope you get a shredder and sluice back running for that spaghetti wire. Seems like you can make some good profit from that direction. Yeah, I was talking with a dude. He was supposed to come down here with some granulators for like $500 a piece. But I think he had a family issue or something and couldn't. I don't know if he still has them, but the granulator that I have, I can either fix it one time and it'll just run until the shaft is just done, but it needs the shaft repaired. It's got slop in the shaft where it's got seven or eight 7 3-bladed blades. And it just, I need, basically what I need to do is have the shaft turned down or just welded and then turned back down to the size of the, and then I need to bore out the things. They're just worn out because of the guy that, I don't even want to talk about it. Big Show. This dude, Big Show. He tell you, it's one of those people that knows everything. And if you tell them, hey man, you can't do this a certain way because of how this is designed. And then you show them how it needs to be done. And then because they know everything, they go and do it their way anyway. They completely ruin your crap. Yeah, that's Big Show. The W210 is the last real E-Class under designer Bruno Fasco. Fast luxury and still handles the British country lanes like a go-kart. Wow. Yeah, what'd you say? That's 1999? Yeah. So that's 1999 is when they changed over the E-Class to the same, like the next body style. And same thing with my car. 1999 was the last year of the previous S classes, the ones you see like the old mob, for years it was that style. And that's actually what the style I was looking for, man. I was looking for them. And then I was looking at S500s and S600s. I like that twin turbo V12. And then I was looking at the W220s, a little newer. And I didn't even know what at the time, I didn't even know what an AMG car was. And I was looking and I kept coming across S55 and I thought it was just someone misprinted S500. And then when I read the specs on it, I was like, what the heck? 500 horse supercharged. Like, man, I want that car. Yeah. And then I settled on that thing, man. But the Achilles heel of that car, the downside, and it's not really a downside if you actually do the manufacturer's recommended maintenance, is the ABC system, the active body control, the hydraulic suspension. Phenomenal suspension when it's working properly. Just absolutely, it's like riding on a cloud with all the torque in the world, and it just eats up the road. Doesn't matter. I mean, you can turn, weave, whatever. The car doesn't roll. It's planted. It eats up all the bumps. You have different modes: sport, comfort. I think there's something else in there. And then you can actually raise and lower the car up for different things, the problem is it's got rubber, regular hydraulic lines, and any hydraulic line. If you get 10 years out of them, you're lucky. The manufacturer recommends every 8 years you replace all the rubber lines, the accumulators, the pulsation dampeners, and have the system flushed. When I bought the car, it was already past that point. I think I bought the car, 2016. I mean, I've had the car for a while, but it was already like past that 8 years. I mean, well past it. It was all original when I bought it. And then after a year or two, the first line blew, and then 6-7 months another line, and then like COVID hit. So like, as much as I would have loved to just pull every line out of the car and replace all the accumulators, rebuild all the valve blocks all at once and just redo it, financially it just wasn't possible. But I've, over the past 5 years or 3 years, I did all the ones in the back, both accumulators. I have the pulsation dampener. I think 2 lines up front, the one that blew, and maybe like one more to replace. So when I go replace this one, and I'm not gonna go buy them expensive lines from Mercedes or that other place. I'm gonna go have them made for cheap, like I did that last one. They went $300 for a line. I had it made for like $18. So, any thoughts on the other Ted, the bad one? What bad one? Ted. Ted. I don't know any other Teds. I just can't see asking Derek. Derek asking someone if they want fries with that. Nah, dude. No way. I mean, but I had a job at a gas station one time as a kid, and I worked with the general public, like random people coming in all the time. And you just, I was just shocked at how rude people could be to someone they don't know. And yeah, me and the general public don't get along. What is the smallest gauge wire you'll strip? It's hard for me to tell gauges. I've showed it online all the time. I don't know what they call it. I'm bad with like the numbers or whatever, but like, you know, that size, and this is a thick power cord. If it's smaller than that or even this size, like if I got nothing to do, I'll strip this size. But if it's smaller than this, I won't even entertain it. It's just not worth it. The recovery's not there. I was going on YouTube to watch the video he dropped earlier and saw the live tonight. Okay. The Charlotte and Gary Scrappin show. Oh, you asked that question. Hey, what's up, man? I don't think I've seen that Scrappin channel yet. Every Scrappin channel that I see, I always try to give a sub to. So I'll try to give you guys a sub. Let me. Hold on a second. I'll have to do it when I'm done. Let me see if I can do this. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I'll have to. Whoops. Sorry, I'm pushing buttons here. Yeah, I'll have to do it when I'm done. I'll give you guys a sub. Anyone see the pile of wire Merchant Metals has in his yard now? Crazy dumpster find. Crazy what people throw out, man. Like I said, like before I even saw anybody like on YouTube dumpster diving, the dude I used to work with me, he would go dumpster diving all the time. It's like that's literally how he lived. Yeah, silver. It was his most recent one. If you want to see a huge pile of wire that he wants to be stripped, just short it. It's huge. I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen his channel in a while. I haven't been able to watch anything on YouTube in a while. Bad Ted. I don't even know what that said. Ted Kalinske? Oh, Una. Okay. First of all, I think was he the one that blew up the federal building supposedly with the horse manure or something? I don't know. I think all those people, not all of them, but I think a lot of that is just fake. it's there to fear monger you, there to put fear in you and throw something out in the news to grab your attention, to distract you from something. A lot like what's going on right now with Charlie. So much crazy stuff, man. See what Stu Peters put out about him and what his theory is? That's crazy stuff. And like, why would a guy be in the crowd yelling, I did it. I did it. It was me. It was me. Like, what kind of distraction is that? Like, the whole thing was a charade. Like, it's just so hard to believe anything you see online now because literally everything's a show. What's your growing season down there? We are pretty much in harvest season in the Great Plains. The Plains Scrapper. I don't know. I think we can grow stuff pretty much majority of the year. Certain things need to be, you know, I don't know. We're hot all year round, so I don't see why anything wouldn't not grow.
No, there is seasonal.
Oh, there is seasonal stuff.
We have a frost date and everything. Yeah.
But it's very short. Gosh, I wish it was 1994. I didn't know what I was doing in 94. I was a kid. I was probably 12 years old. Yeah, I was on my way to jail probably. All right, well, we're coming up on 2 hours. I want to wrap this up. Oh, did I mention got on here to tell you guys something? I don't even know if I did. Either way, you'll see it in the next 2 videos coming up. Got a video dropping for you tomorrow morning. Another one Monday. I'll be scrapping Monday. I got so much scrap out here to deal with. And we're going to make a run down to Miami. And why bag cement versus ready mix? Well, first of all, some of the places where I'm going to be making concrete, you really couldn't get a truck in. And the way I have to pour the concrete under the carport, because I have all my stuff under there, and I'm going to have to move it around kind of. I can't pour the whole thing in one shot. I mean, I'm making room. I might be able to pour 2 of the pieces, but I'm going to have to do it in sections. Believe me, I mean, if I had the time and whatever, I would have loved to do it in one shot. It's just not going to happen that way. And we got a bunch of small slabs that are going to be done. Like one needs to be done before I can do the next one. And it just having a truck come out, one day and then another day and another day. I'd rather just have the concrete here and do it whenever I want, basically, and not have to keep paying for a truck. You're looking for an all scrapping video? Yeah, it looks like a nightmare pouring and moving all the stuff. Well, some of the stuff is going to be moved like into the building. Like that's the game plan. So anyway, man, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys all for coming by, hanging out with me on this beautiful Saturday night. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful Sunday. And we'll have a video for you tomorrow. And we're going to wrap it up here. So good night. God bless. And we'll see you on the next one.